Hello everyone, how are we doing today? This is Toby. I want to thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. Welcome back to all of you who have been here before. I want to thank you so much for liking and sharing the videos, any comments that you feel called to make, and subscribing to the channel. I really, truly appreciate your support. So today we are going to begin a little series on the new moon in Aquarius, which is on the 21st or 22nd of January, depending upon where you live in the world. And as I mentioned in a prior video, although of course we've well past the beginning of the new year according to the Gregorian calendar, in many ways, at least astrologically and cosmically, this feels like a time around this new moon when we will really begin to get rolling on implementing the things that we've worked towards, that we've revisited, we've reviewed, we've recalculated or reimagined over the past retrogrades. We had a retrograde in Mars that ended on the 12th. We have had a retrograde in Mercury that just ended on the 18th. And then Uranus will go direct as of the 22nd, which will be right around or on the heels of the new moon in Aquarius. So, with that being said, we are going to do these readings based on the elements. So I'm going to feel called to start with the fire signs. So yeah, I think I'll start with no, we're not starting with the tarot. We are going to start with two oracle decks, the Wisdom of the Oracle and the Starseed Oracle. This one is by Rebecca Campbell. So again, this reading will be for fire signs. If you have sun, moon, or rising in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, this would be a reading for you. And the other elements will follow. Okay. Again, thank you all so much for being here. I do truly appreciate your time, your energy, your attention, your openness to these messages. So let us begin. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages for fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What? Here we go. What they need to know around this new moon in Aquarius, please. New moon in Aquarius. Just one card? It feels like two. It is two cards. I thought it was two there. We have karmic relationships and I'm sorry. Definitely feeling the sense of the cycle closing with these karmic relationships. It is Orion energy related to polarity. It says soul growth and conflict. What I'm sensing intuitively though is that I'm honestly feeling these two cards together just as they came out, so close together. It's almost there's one message that wants to come through with these two cards. So we have karmic relationships and we have I'm sorry. Righting past wrongs and uprooting. And what I'm feeling with, we have two figures on both of these cards. And what I'm feeling is two things. One, that past karmic relationships, depending on where you are with your spiritual and healing journey, this is very much a time of it's a wrapping up of these karmic contracts, of ending the cycle of these karmic relationships, and having the ability, then the option then to step into new cycles with healthy relationships, with supportive relationships. And in that, it's in order to make that step into that new cycle, it's very important to offer yourself forgiveness and forgiveness to others. And karmic relationships can be really difficult, for sure, very very tricky and traumatic in some cases. And so being in a point in our own awareness and acceptance of our responsibility in all areas of our life, having the openness and the humbleness to be able to forgive our past karmic relationship partners in whatever form that may take, whether it's family, friends, romantic relationships, business relationships, but being willing to offer the other forgiveness as we need to offer it to ourselves for our participation in that, because truly the reason is there's something to be learned from that. There's wisdom to be gained from that. So that's message one. The second message then is the possibility of a restructuring of a karmic relationship so that it can then be uprooted and reformed in a new manner. So it would be a coming back together with someone who in the past the relationship was not healthy, toxic in some cases, or maybe codependent, and there's been a separation, as you see, between these two figures. And through forgiveness and bringing down of our defenses and being willing to communicate openly with another, is able to rebirth something new from that space between these two souls. So, and that will vary depending upon your situation, but I think you'll know which one is yours. Either way, it's a beautiful new beginning around this new moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is about community. It's about humanitarianism, but that is on the collective level, but it's important that it start with the individual as well, and with our interpersonal relationships. Really beautiful messages for you fire signs. So as you're moving through this space of the new moon, be really open to places and I want to say spaces again. I keep getting that term. The space between two people, or the space that we energetically create around ourselves or with other people. Being aware of that space and what it's asking of us, what that energy between you and another person is asking of you. And how can we enter into it from a place of forgiveness for ourselves and for another person, a place of vulnerability, and I want to centered vulnerability is what I'm hearing. Okay, so let's see what we have from the wisdom of the oracle to add to this. Feeling a sense of head pressure in the back of my head, so I don't know if you guys are experiencing maybe some headaches. That has been a think I mentioned that in my last reading too. It has been a bit of a common occurrence recently, as many are experiencing ascension symptoms, and it feels like we're really getting almost pushed through the eye of the needle at this point. We're really encouraged through the eye of the needle. So drinking a lot of water, getting a lot of fresh air. I'm really drawn to the blues in this card, and so spending some time looking at the sky, looking at the blue sky, and you may find that that helps to ease the symptoms. And this ties right into it. We have no place like home. Wow, really beautiful. The blues and the purples really bringing through those intuitive messages, and the importance of being aware of what you're getting through your third eye chakra and your crown chakra, and where that's leading you, because it is leading you back home. And that may be with another individual in some sort of coming back together, but in a new way. And it may be in creating a home for yourself by really being open to those messages, that intuitive guidance that says this feels good, and no, I'm getting some sort of resistance in this particular area. Because home isn't just a place, but home is the environments we put ourselves in, expose ourselves to, the things that we watch, that we eat, we listen to, we wear even. How does it feel to you? Does it feel restrictive, or does it feel like it leaves you in that space we talked about? See how much space is around here, how it's so open? So openness and a sense of space and a sense of breathing into how that space feels. So where are you being where are you being intuitively guided? And I really feel like if you are taking time, and again space and stillness, and we have this looking at the sky again, looking at a sunrise or a sunset, it's going to give you the guidance that leads you home to what lights you up and feels comforting and safe and secure. That may be a person, it may be a place, it may be an experience. Alright, so we're going to go with the Star Tarot. And I did shuffle this a couple of times prior to starting filming. I'll do one more, but this deck is so long. I love this deck, but it's so long it's hard for me to shuffle. Doesn't make for a really pretty shuffle. Okay, so we're going to see what the tarot wants to add to this for you, fire signs. What do fire signs need to know about the new moon in Aquarius, please, Spirit? Fire signs need to know about the new moon in Aquarius, please, Spirit. Sensing some tightness in my solar plexus chakra as well. We have Justice. I'm going to pull a few cards and then we'll talk about these, okay? If you're not feeling confident in this process, if you're not feeling empowered at this time, I would recommend listening to some solar plexus chakra cleansing frequencies. You can find those on YouTube. Prince of Wands. There's that yellow. Prince of Wands would be equivalent to the Knight of Wands. Sunflowers. And we have the Lion on here, which Leo is actually the opposite of the sign of Aquarius. And of course it's a fire sign. We have Eight of Swords. Seeing the higher perspective, getting outside of your mind, the mental space that keeps us trapped and unable to see what's actually in front of us, see a way out that is there for us to find and observe, but we must be willing to open our eyes and look at it. And Justice is the balance. It's Libra energy. And then we end with the Ten of Cups. We've got a rebalancing here that is divinely guided with the number 11. Again, it's Libran energy, so maybe it's something that connects back to September, October time frame, end of September through later October. But something is being reborn here. You see how the tree's roots are here and then the tree is growing up here? So it's in this process that the scales are being balanced and something is actually coming to life. And this is your justice in this situation. And it's divine justice. It's something has had to have time to grow and flourish. It's allowed time for this healing that had to happen, for the space to evolve such that it nurtures these seeds and the roots so that then they can come forth and actually bear leaves and fruit. And it creates this inspiration and inner strength. And I get a sense of magic here with the unicorn as something that we did not believe that could be true is now coming to light because you've had the strength to see this process through. It's protected again. I'm getting Archangel Michael in this card. But it is dependent upon us not overthinking it and being willing to take the higher perspective and see the big picture as the eagle does, not just focusing on the minutia of it, so that we get so wrapped up into our head and are overtaken with and bound by the thought patterns and the worries and the convoluted thinking that isn't the truth. And if we can free ourselves from that and see the bigger picture, it brings the Ten of Cups. It's fulfillment. It is emotional fulfillment. It's having the things that bring us joy and comfort and satisfaction in the emotional realm. That's beautiful. It's beautiful energies for this new moon for you fire signs. Really, really beautiful. It is going to require you to be willing to let that space be there. It reminds me of a conversation I had earlier today about how not only when changes are coming into our lives, we find that things in the physical or people in the physical or situations that we are accustomed to and comfortable with, feel some security with even, can be removed from our lives. But it's Spirit making room for these new experiences. And what's required of us is that we make energetic room for it. And that's the space that keeps coming up in this. So making the energetic space for these cycles to end, for the new to come in, for something new to be born. And not overthinking this process, following our intuition and allowing ourselves to dream the magical into being. I get a real sense of manifestation with this Prince of Wands as well. And that brings us the Ten of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment, satisfaction, joy, bliss, and harmony. Really beautiful. All right, let's go to the Life Soul Vision Oracle to wrap this up. I hope you guys are finding this helpful. Oh, and look, my favorite card is at the split. Look at this. It is the Rainbow Dragon and the Wild Rose. And see the rainbows here? Okay, well, let's see what comes out. There he is again. Whoopsie. I definitely feel this is about, has a lot to do with interpersonal relationships and potentially love relationships and family relationships, friendships, because we talked about that with the two figures here. It's about the home. And then on the Ten of Cups, that is about emotional fulfillment in relationships as well. We have the family here. Okay, so let's see what Life Soul Vision has to add for the New Moon in Aquarius for fire signs, please, Spirit. The solar plexus tightness is coming up again, so doing some clearing with that, some cleansing work for your solar plexus is going to help you feel more confident and self-assured and empowered in this process. You are divinely guided. You are protected. And balance is coming in. You have so much work has been done already. Okay. Moon in Aquarius for fire signs, please, Spirit. Okay, we're going to go one more. Soul Stories. It's number 30. We have 10, 8, 11, and 50, and now we have 30. Again, we have this space. This feels like the kind of like the eye of the needle, although it's more of a portal. This speaks of past lifetimes and stories that your soul has gained over many lifetimes, even from times in the stars. Remember we talked about looking at the sky? Certainly these karmic relationships, I feel, have ties to past lifetimes. Things that you've worked on learning and wisdom you've worked on gaining over lifetimes. but there's a conclusion of a cycle in this lifetime. It was written in your contract, your soul contract, that this would happen. And we have free will. Are we willing to step through this portal, because we're walking on ground and entering into, again, this space of the unknown? Are we willing to trust in the divine in this process, and embark on this new journey with curiosity and excitement, and with an openness to what's possible? Because what's possible is beyond what we can even imagine right now. I'm also getting a sense of your south node. And if you're familiar with your birth chart, looking at your south node, the south node represents what we've learned in and what we've mastered in past lives. What our north node represents is what we're here to master in this life. So getting a checking out your birth chart and finding out what your south node is, and will help you in understanding where you, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera, where you've come from in these past lives. Okay, I think we're going to wrap it there. I feel like there's one more from this deck, so let's pull one more. Third eye energy, and we talked about that. We talked about intuition and the importance of working with your third eye and your crown chakra, and really trusting in, and we've got number 11 here too. This is again confirmation that you are divinely protected and divinely guided, and trusting in this, as it says, awakened vision that you've gained through this process, through these many lifetimes. Trusting in that, so that you're not caught up in this Eight of Swords energy, and so that you're able to allow yourself to enter into this Ten of Cups. See, there's a portal here too. We have a portal here. We have one here. See how we have the two circles between the Eight of Swords and the third eye energy? This third eye chakra energy is going to alleviate the anxiety and stress and pressure that is an illusion that we create ourselves. It's going to help alleviate that. So getting out of the mental, ego-based mind space and allowing our third eye to show us what we need to know, to guide us. Yes, that was the piece we needed. Okay, thank you, fire signs, for being here. I so appreciate your energy, your attention, your openness to the messages. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in a personal reading, my contact information is in the description box below. And I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Aquarius, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.